What's going on, Atlanta Falcons fans? Man, y'all know who it is. It's your boy Antoine Smith. And if y'all tuned in earlier to me and my boy A1, we talked a little bit about Roddy White and the reason why he left Atlanta. And now his former teammate, Julio Jones, he talks about Super Bowl 51. Probably the most disappointing game in Atlanta Falcons history by far. And we know Julio speaks his mind. So does Roddy. And things didn't end well with Julio, but it's some couple of things he talks about with the Super Bowl, and they're pretty crazy if you ask me, because you talk about one of the best wide receivers to ever play this game. But before we keep talking, man, let's get into this quick 30-second clip about Super Bowl 51 and Julio Jones and his thoughts on it. Because trust me, you're going to want to hear this one. And it's honestly hard to say that he's not telling the truth, but he is telling the absolute truth, because some things you just can't get over at some point in your life. But let's listen to it right quick.
Man, about the Super, I have yet to go back and watch it.
Oh, the game?
And two, like from
Now you heard that first 3 seconds. He's yet to go back and watch that Super Bowl. Do you know how hard that had to hurt him to lose that game? That was hard for a lot of players. And that man that's sitting off to the left of him, my left, his right, Roddy White, should have been on that team, like I said earlier in the video. And if y'all don't know and y'all just tuning in, they have their own show with Julio, Harry Douglas, and Roddy White. It's called Legacy Locker Room Podcast. And it's a Falcon legacy. You see the jerseys in the background. Julio has yet to watch that game after almost a decade, because next year will be actually a decade since they played in the Super Bowl. And I think they've only had one winning record since that. So it hurt Julio, it hurt this organization. And I say it again, I blame Dan Quinn, I blame Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is now the coach of the 49ers, while Dan Quinn is the coach of the Washington Commanders. But the Atlanta Falcons are still reeling from that Super Bowl loss this many years later. We will turn that corner at some point, but just think about that as we go on, that he hasn't watched that Super Bowl since.
Oh, the game?
yeah, I haven't went back to watch the game. And two, like for me, just like in that game, it was just like I had 4 opportunities in that game. And that whole game too, though, like all this, what I've done, and as the team, and we got to the Super Bowl, it's just like I had 4 opportunities.
Bro, that
4 opportunities, 4 targets. And y'all remember that Super Bowl catch, one of the best Super Bowl catches of all time. 4 different instances that he only got targeted. And we're talking about a guy in the Atlanta Falcons history who owned bukus of records. 848 catches with the Falcons, 12,896 yards, 15.2 yards a catch, 60 touchdowns, which is still second all time. And with the Falcons, he averaged 95 yards a game with the Falcons receiving a game. 5 different times he averaged over 100 yards a game for the season. But he only got 4 targets that game. I stand on this hill by myself. I don't care. But Kyle Shanahan was not focused that game. He was too busy worried about taking that job with the 49ers. He was distracted. Then you talk about losing the playbook. We knew then it was going to be some you-know-what. So, again, this had all kind of wrongs written on it, and 4 targets for a Hall of Famer, one of the best wide receivers to play this game. And, boy, you just don't know. You just don't know how bad that make not only those guys feel, how bad that make us as Atlanta Falcon fans feel. And it's just that sad if you ask me. But let's go on and close this thing out right, man, because I'm kind of pissed right now.
one catch you had on the sideline.
I had 4 opportunities though the whole game. That's insane.
That's
Had 4
past
targets
insane.
in the Super Bowl.
Past
That was
insane.
ridiculous.
But again, I did what was asked of me. That would have.
And that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask, is for him to do what he's supposed to do. Nothing more, nothing less. But 4 catches in the Super Bowl, never being able to watch the Super Bowl after a loss like that. And Falcon fans, look, I'm telling y'all right now, and I said it right now. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. About Julio only having 4 targets, that one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history, and there was another catch in that game by Julian Edelman that was deflected, but I think Julio catch was way better than that. Up 28-3 and you lose in that fashion, that's enough to not want to watch that game. But again, Atlanta Falcon fans, y'all tell me how y'all feel about him getting 4 targets in that game. Please tell me how y'all feel about him not watching that game since. How many times have y'all actually watched that game? I've watched that Super Bowl, I know, honestly, I would say about 4 or 5 times. Because after, I would say 8 months, I was over it. Because life has to go on. And the very next season, Falcons finished 11-5, losing to Philadelphia in the I think it was the wild card or the divisional round, and it just hadn't been right since. Hate to say it, Matt Ryan had his best season, MVP season. Julio, Mohamed Sanu, Taylor Gabriel, Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman. I mean, they had talent on that team. But y'all tell me how long it took y'all to watch that game again, man. I just frustrated by that one. But y'all let me know, man. Y'all drop those comments. Let's debate. Let's have fun as always, man. Y'all know how we do it on the Sports Machine. It's your boy Antoine Smith signing off. I will holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.